Today on the Bombay Times Lounge, we're excited to welcome an actress who's the queen of sass and rules the Gen Z glam brigade. She's a young talent who has found a place in the spotlight and she's owning it with style and class. Please join me in welcoming the charming, spunky, and super cool Ananya Pandey.
I love her personality. I love how much life she brings into everything she does. I love how she carries herself and how she always has a smile on her face.
I really like Ananya as an actor. She has definitely done a lot of versatile characters.
She has the title of being an advocate and she has faced a lot of negativity online, criticisms for her performances. But what I like about her is she just took it, all of it with a smile.
Keep doing the good work. We are all very proud of you and you inspire all of us every day to keep smiling and keep going.
Hello and welcome, Ananya. Thanks for being on our show.
Thank you for having me.
How do you feel being here? How do you find the energy here?
I'm feeling very shy suddenly. I don't know, like I'm not being able to make eye contact. I'm just feeling very shy. I get very socially awkward.
Really?
Yeah.
So you started your career in your teens, right? At the end of your teens, 18, 19. And a lot has happened since then. Good movies, appreciation, awards. How different is Ananya 25, personally and professionally?
I'm 26 now. Not gonna lie about my age. So actually today is 6 years of when Student of the Year released today. A lot has changed, as you said. A lot has changed personally, professionally, of course. But I still feel like at the core as a person, I'm the same. I'm maybe just like a more mature version of what I was when I started out. But I feel like also like the people around me haven't changed too much. Like my friends and of course my family, everything's pretty much. Yeah, that's a constant. And I think they keep me also the same and sane at the same time. I feel pretty much the same. Like now when I look back at all these articles that have put of me over the years, it feels like so much has happened, but still nothing has really changed since then. So it's like a weird mixed feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
But today, where you are you less scared of judgment or scrutiny? Are you more in your, comfortable in your skin? Do you think you have more of a voice today?
Yeah, I think at the start I was very eager to please everyone, everywhere. Like even now I still am, but now I don't feel the pressure of it, honestly. Like I still hope that people like me and they find me funny and all of those things. But at the start I would make a very big effort to kind of just make everyone around me happy at the risk of not being myself. Like, for example, when I met Shakun for the first time, I knew he was making a film. I didn't know what the film was. And I knew Shakun as this, he made Kapoor and Sons, and he was like this very intellectual director and everything. And I was like, I to watch Welcome and Knowing Tree, and these are all my, which is also such a fun thing. It's what I've grown up watching. Yeah, I was like, will we have something to talk about, And so I just read the synopsis of 2-3 Polish films and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go and talk about this. So we met for lunch and I started talking very not me, I was trying to impress him and trying to be something else. And then halfway through the chat, he was we started talking about Delhi because he's from Delhi and my family is from Delhi. And then the wall just kind of broke, and I started being myself and he was like, this is who you are. And he appreciated it so much.
What I want to see.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think over time, I've kind of I'm not that scared of judgment anymore because now too much has happened for me to be scared anyway. So yeah, I think I'm a lot more comfortable in my skin.
Do you think your priorities have changed now from the time you started out, Student of the Year and Pati Patni and all those films? I guess maybe in the beginning it was also need to be known, for people to know you beyond your family, people, it's like chasing fame. And now where you are, is that different? Are you seeking something different now?
No, I mean, I obviously still want to be known by as many people as possible, but I want to be more known by more people. But when I started out, I think also the kind of cinema that I watched growing up was very different. I was and I still am a full Bollywood bacha. I watch all the same Hindi movies again and again. So I only knew one thing.
Right.
Let's just put it that way, that I only knew that there's one way of acting, one kind of movie. My vision was very microscopic, I would say. So when I became an actor, I was just happy that I was on the big screen and I was singing and dancing and I was doing all those things I've seen growing up.
Yeah.
But the more that I've, acted and done work, I've fallen in love with the craft of acting now and I enjoy going deeper a lot more. I want to challenge myself. I want to work with so many different kinds of people. So I would say my my vision and my view and my horizon is kind of broadened more than anything. Yeah.
Also, I think you're far more exposed to more. You're working with more people.
Yeah.
Every film, I guess, that expands, right?
Yeah.
Your knowledge of cinema expands.
Yeah, of course. But I also think at the end of the day, like people keep differentiating between commercial cinema and art house cinema, but
Yeah.
both are equally tough. You know, like people are like, oh, now you've done something like Kesari that must have been so challenging for you. But even commercial cinema is very challenging. You know, to do the singing and the lip syncing and the dancing and have that, like, you know, look of being in love and those glossy eyes. It all is another form of acting. It requires as much effort, if not more. So I don't believe in this differentiation that much. Like I think all kinds of work is as challenging.
Absolutely. Like, people have this perception of comedy being very easy. And people remember you for your comic lines.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I've done like Pati Patni or Gangar were comedy films, but like I wasn't doing the comedy in that. I was just like part of the scenes, and you know, I didn't have the punchlines and stuff and that. But when I did Call Me Babe was the first time I actually had to do the comedy. And it's tough. It was like cool, thank you. But it's tough because you also lose perspective when you're shooting comedy, because we've read those lines so many times. People will only laugh like in the first take. You know, how much can people keep laughing?
Yeah.
So you kind of are like, okay, will the audience, you know, laugh also? Will they understand what we're kind of... And the pitch of that show was also a little different. So we were quite nervous about that, but I had a lot of fun.
A lot of actors, and you know, they come very prepared. Nowadays, acting classes, dancing, singing, horse riding, and you know, whatever there is. You know, when you started out, you like kind of dived right in a way, right?
Yeah.
So what was your prep back when you were 16, 17, about to start your journey?
I like auditioned for Student of the Year right once my school ended. Like I was given my board exams, and the next month or something I auditioned for the film. But I was a very like studious child. I was very focused on my education. Like I'd got into my dream college and all of that stuff. So I didn't really have that much time to pursue extracurricular activities. But whenever I had time, I would do something. Like I went to Anupam Sir's acting academy, and I AD'd a little bit on the set of Rais. You know, I went like in the middle of my board exams, or like right before my boards, I had 1 week, you know, for a study break. But instead of the study break, I went on the sets of Rais, and I was kind of just learning the ropes of what happens on a set and stuff. But I didn't know anything. Like quite honestly, when I started out, I really didn't know anything. Like Tiger would move me between shots. Like I didn't know what taking the light was. I didn't know what different magnifications were. I thought, once you do it, it's done. I didn't know ki bhi setup lagega, wahan bhi setup lagega, and you keep doing the same thing many times. And I didn't know anything about shooting, because honestly, my dad also never really took us on films much as we were younger. Yeah, I must have gone like once when I was very, very young, once or twice. Like I can't even remember going on any of his film sets. Everything I learned, I learned on the job, yeah.
And it wasn't like you always harbored this dream, or like at some point you realized this is what you want to do.
No, I like popped out of my mom and I knew that I wanted to be an actor. Yeah, like I don't know what it was. Maybe subconsciously it was because my father was an actor. But I was just glued to the TV when I was young. Like I would just like sit in front of the TV for like, which is not good parenting maybe. But I would just sit in front of the TV and I would be so curious about like what is happening. Like, you know, if I like switched to channel and Karishma was on this channel and then she was on the next, I was like, how did she change so fast? Like I was very curious about how filmmaking is like, how does it work? I used to actually think that like when a kid becomes older, they're like shorted over time, you know, like I didn't know. Basic question.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I watched this movie of my dad called The Company, and he dies in that movie, and no one told me he's gonna die. I was traumatized. Like I made my mom call him up and like prove to me that like,
Not real.
yeah, this is not real. So I really didn't know ki, you know, all this happens. Also my dad, he had this like handy cam when we were younger, you know, like it was like a flip video camera, so I could see myself in the camera. So it was very fascinating.
Cool. Back then they were doing.
Yeah, it was like a new thing. And like I only wanted to see myself. Like he would record me and I'd be like, show. There are videos also I put on Instagram now of me. And till date, like sometimes now if I'm shooting something and I'm like, show, then I get like this like weird like feeling of deja vu that it's been
So
happening.
in your head you were an actress since then.
I always wanted to be an actress. I don't know if other people were like believing me or thinking that I could be an actress, because I was also very shy.
Right.
Like I was very confident when I was like 5, 6 years old. You know those kids at birthday parties who like are always ready to dance? I was that. But then when I became a teenager, I became very awkward. Like then I became really shy and I became like a little like, I used to not really go forward in like annual day performances and all. I kind of was at the back. So then I think people were like, no, she's too shy. She's very like studious. Maybe my grandparents were doctors. So they were like, maybe she'll want to pursue something else. So when I told my parents that, you know, I want to be an actor, they were pretty shocked actually.
So when was the point when you shed your inhibitions and you know, like became comfortable enough to like
I think
be on a set, face the camera, and mentally prep?
it took time. I think in my first few films, I was still very nervous, and I would just do whatever the director was telling me to do. If he said, stand here, say this, do that, I would just do anything. I think Gehraiyan would have been a film
turning
where,
point.
yeah, when
That's
things
it.
changed. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, Ananya, with fame and stardom comes certain power, right? And you've seen success at a pretty early age, if I might say so. Uh, how do you handle all of that sometimes? How do you stay grounded? How do you stay centered and continue to focus on the bigger picture, on the real goal that you have?
I mean, it is the people around me obviously keep me grounded and me like nothing when I go back home, nothing really changes in that way. I used to think that at the start, if I said something in an interview and I did this, like things would change, but it doesn't work like that at the end of the day. Only your work really speaks for everything. You know, people will only come and pay their hard-earned money to watch you if they like your work and they like you as a person.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I've kind of realized, that it's only gonna you're only going to go far if you do the good work. So I try to kind of focus on that. Yeah.
And the fact that you had a father at home who's seen the highs and lows of stardom, did that somewhere kind of gear you up for what was to come in the future?
Yeah, honestly, because when I was born, like my dad wasn't acting that much.
Right.
Honestly, it wasn't really like a very said thing at home. Like it wasn't like my parents were discussing it or ऐसा कुछ चल रहा था कि घर में कुछ problems है, ऐसे तो नहीं था, because my dad always does something or the other.
Yeah.
Even if he's not on a film set, he's like, he loves work. So he'll do anything,
Yeah.
honestly. So, but I could, you know, growing up, seeing like,
Yeah.
if my friends' parents were actors, the way people reacted to their parents versus my dad, I would be like, oh, okay, maybe there's something different. So it was there.
You were too young to understand, right?
In my subconscious, maybe it was there. But yeah, I learned kind of just the value of like appreciating what you have in the moment and being grateful, you know, because it can all go away in like a split second.
Yeah.
So to just enjoy it and to kind of hold on to it and yeah, give it your best, because you're not going to keep getting chances and there's
Right.
really one shot to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you've done probably 9 films now?
10.
10.
9 films in one series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Call Me Babe, Ho Gaya. People really liked you, Kesari too also. You know, there was love, admiration for you. But even after that, there's a certain section who kind of attributes your achievements, your success to your place of privilege, to where you come from. And you've proven yourself. The first, you know, maybe initially it was a little rough ride, but here you are, you know, with the biggest brands and whatever else. Like you said, your work speaks for itself. Yet when that happens, now does it bother you? Do you want to say that, okay, now enough, I'm here and I'm doing my best?
No, I mean, see, I've always been the kind of person to acknowledge my privilege. Like, even when I went on coffee with Karan for the first time, the first thing I said was, I know that I'm privileged and I knew that, you know, there are probably people out there who are more talented, better looking, more hardworking than I am. But now I've got this opportunity, I don't want to waste it. You know, this is also my dream and I also have wanted to do this since I was a child. So I've kind of taken the shame out of being privileged and I look at it as something as pride, that my father was a child of 2 doctors and his dream was to become an actor and he became an actor. And I want to take his legacy forward because he's worked for 40 plus years. He's done so many films. And if I can kind of carry forward his legacy and I can make him proud, you know, for me, that's a very big achievement. So I look at it more as like, I don't want to not be known as Chunky Pandey's daughter. Like, unhappy. Like, I'm so proud that he's my father. So I've taken the shame out of it.
I like this, that you take the shame out of it, but it's a
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I don't want to look at it as like a negative thing anymore, because people will always say something. Yeah, no matter. No one has it easy. Everyone has it. Something or the other people will always say. So I don't want to like think of it as a negative thing anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is the role of yours, Ananya, which is close to the real you. A lot of people thought it was Call Me Babe because she's cool, spunky girl
Yeah.
who kind of is very cool with the way she is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, she has no pretenses.
Yeah.
And a lot of people believe, you know, you're very honest the way you are.
Yeah,
So-
but I think Day is like too good for me. Like, honestly, she's too pure a soul. I
She's
think.
too sweet.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
I love being Day. But I think Ahana from Kho Gaya Hum Loग is actually the closest to me as a
Yes.
Yeah.
The role also was very real, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You kind of connected with the role. And when you start,
Gen Z or like young person, like I got so many messages after Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, like young girls and boys saying that they feel seen and they feel represented.
wow.
We don't show that side in cinema, you know. We always
Yes.
show this like very sanitized form, and like we don't show the messiness and the grey parts of like Ahana when she just comes home, you know, intoxicated and she just wants to call her boyfriend. Like, we don't show all that messiness, which is real.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I loved the realness of that. Like when the film came, like when I auditioned for the film and then I got the script after that, I was like, I felt like Arjun had like a camera in my room because so many of those moments were like,
Wow,
that have actually been like this, you know, and for so many people felt that way after with all the characters in that thing.
So it's very important for young actors like you to also do these real roles because the generation needs to see that this is real. You know, cinema can be real.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I feel like that now it's happening, but I felt this gap with representing like our age group. I felt like there was either like older.
You feel like we need to do,
Yeah, to do something for like the young 20-year-olds who are figuring out the world with social media, you know.
Yeah.
They were making films on social media. I mean, social media is such a big
Control,
part
yeah,
of
is
us now.
was
So doing a Bay and doing Khogai and doing Control, where there is social media such an important thing because
absolutely.
that's
Yeah, right.
yeah.
In fact, that's my next question. That today Gen Z has its own set of problems. Every generation, of course, does. But the pressures are a lot. Social media pressure. There's body image issues. There is an entire sense of being lonely in spite of being in a crowd, and this all leads to mental health issues. You being a successful actor at this age. How did you navigate that space? And what is your advice for people who are in showbiz and who are like, people who are here, the young generation here? What is your advice to them?
I mean, honestly, even I go through it. Like, I also have days where I feel very upset and I feel very bogged down. Like, I'll read one comment or I'll read some Reddit thread and I'll just go into like a loophole and, it's kind of spiral. When I started out, all these things used to come up which were like not true. Like, they had made some fake account and they were saying some things. And I was like wanting to like come out and say something. And I was like, I used to get really, really like emotional and like bothered by these things. And over time, I think you do develop a thick skin. At least like I think I got much better with dealing with things. But at the end of the day, I'm human also and I do feel sad. So I would just say like, feel whatever you're feeling. Like if someone tells you like don't cry, like don't listen to them. Like it's okay like to have those days where you're crying and you're angry and you're feeling low because you have to let it out. You can't really just how much can you keep in and how much and it's just going to make it worse. So I would just say like feel whatever you're feeling.
What is the one thing, Ananya, about the industry that people generally get wrong from the outside?
I think that people think that there are all these like cat fights are happening and there's not really any drama. I can see there's not so dramatic from the way. It's not. There's like no drama. Like I think all our drama goes in like acting, right? But there are really no like fights or no one like.
It's like a regular working.
Yeah, it's like a regular normal job. People come, everyone's professional, and you go home. Yeah. So I think there's this build up that no one's friends, and especially between women, they think I always
Perception
fighting.
is that
It's not.
women don't get along and they're like,
I think we get along better sometimes.
absolutely, good gang. Tell me how the dynamics at home changed. There was your father who's been an actor for all his life, and then your mom stepped in.
Yeah.
So when that happened, what were the conversations like? Did she talk about what she was doing on set every day?
I mean, it's a different world, what she's doing. And I was pretty shocked because my mom has always been kind of like behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. She's not really been out there that much and stuff. So, it's now she's also very busy, First, I think she used to give me all of her time. So now I'm just kind of like, trying to like vie for my mom's attention a little bit. Yeah, so I think the only thing that's really changed is that now like we all have to find dates to even have dinner together because everyone's busy shooting something. Yeah.
But all of you in showbiz now,
Yeah.
like, what are conversations like? What is a typical Pandey's event like? What do you do which to just chill and have fun together?
I think I
Sure,
always
what-
try to make a conscious effort not to talk about movies that much because invariably the conversation just becomes about films. And now even my brother Ahan, he's Asian is going to come out, and with my friends also, there are many of them
Yes.
are also acting. So I'm surrounded by a lot of actors. So at least when I have my free time, I try to not talk about work as much, and I kind of talk about normal things only that everyone's talking about.
Keep it normal.
I try my best to keep it normal. Yeah.
I think another person who's probably has impacted your life in a large way is probably Shah Rukh Khan. You've seen him. He's seen you since you were a toddler. You grew up around him. Friends with his kids, and I think you've seen him as a superstar and as a father. So how has that inspired you in your life? How has he inspired you as a human being?
In every way, like I think the way he handles his personal and professional life, there's no one like him. He's like, he can do anything and everything. And growing up, I've seen firsthand what an amazing father he's been to obviously Suhana and Aryan and Abram, but also to us, you know. Like he used to train us for all our sports days, all our taekwondo competitions. He used to train us. He was very, very present. Till date, he wants to know what we're doing, and like he's very, very involved and very present. And I think also he has this quality of making everyone feel like they're the only person in the world. When he's talking to you, it's like there's no one else exists. And he's just, there's no one like him. Like Shah Rukh is Shah Rukh, yeah.
Has he seen any of your movies?
Yeah, I'd like to meet him. He saw Kesari. I remember when he saw Student of the Year 2 actually for the first time. He sent me a long message, and like it was just a very emotional moment for me also. But I think he's seen Gehraiyan, he's seen Kesari, he's seen Student.
Oh no, what your girl gang? How has the dynamics changed from the three of you? Four of you, right?
Yeah.
Suhana, Shania, and Navya. I mean, you started your career a little earlier than them, so you probably got busier. Did that kind of change things? And now that all of them are in the same space, what is it like?
But you know, we've been doing this acting in our own way since we were kids only. You know, when we were small, we used to play this game called Ad. The girls are nodding, they're like understanding what I'm saying. I don't know, the games would be called like a double thing. Like Mother was like when you'd act like your mom and you'd have like a baby and all this. It's not, it makes no sense. So Ad was like a game we made up where like one person would be the judge, and like we would all like think of a product, like for example, like a camera. And then two people have to make up an ad, and then you get like 10 minutes to think of an ad, and then you have to present it to the judge. So you have to act and make.
And who's a judge?
One of us three would be the judge, and then whoever wins the round becomes the judge for the next time.
Okay.
And we would do this for years. Like for years, we would play this game, and like we would like spy on our moms and see what they're doing at their tea party, and then we'd come and imitate each other's moms and everything. And like this, we used to keep acting when we.
So you're honing your talent since then.
Yeah, and it's so us. This was so much fun. Like we would like it's just, I don't even think now I look back on some videos and I'm like, what were we doing?
What were we thinking?
Yeah, like Suhana, who was the shortest, was the mother, and me and Shania, these giants, were her daughters. So they were just like anything we used to do. So we've been doing this. So this was like a shared dream. I think we all.
So when I talk about this now, what are the
Now it's surreal. Like when I saw Suhana, you know, in Archie's on the big screen, it's like such a surreal feeling. Right now with Shania's film that's gonna come out, it's like a shared dream that I think we've all had growing up. But we don't really talk that much about work as much as people think we do. We actually talk about like normal things that girls talk about at 26. Yeah.
What do you admire the most about each of them?
Suhana, I would say that she's a very like good person. Like she has a very kind, soft heart, and she gets affected by things very easily, which people think is a bad thing, but it's actually a very good thing, you know, to feel so much.
Sensitive.
Yeah, she's sensitive, and like people think sensitive is like a bad word if someone calls you sensitive, but it's actually such a lovely word to be so like affected by things. Like even for an actor, her sensitivity I think is like a huge strength. With Shania, she's like very strong and very hard. Like she keep going, and I think that's like a very admirable quality.
And Navya.
Navya is so smart. Like she's just, you know, even though people have said that, you know, oh, she'll become an actor, she'll do this, she's really like stuck to her.
She's found her own pace and
found her own pace, and she's such an inspiration. She's gone back to do her, you know, her MBA now, which I think is so like interesting and so like amazing. Like after finishing her education, she started her own NGOs, and she has 4 or 5 businesses running at different time. She's an entrepreneur, so she's really, you know, just chosen her own path, and that's amazing.
20 years later, the four of you were in a reality show. What would it be called?
I don't know, like we call us as Charlie's Angels, but like I have a group actually, I call them Ananya's fans, even though like they're my friends. But I don't know what a reality show would be called.
Are you a very grand romantic gestures kind of person? Or do you like these simple, subtle, meaningful things like a dinner date at home or a walk in the park? Not in Mumbai possibly, but you know what I get. You get the drift.
I like all of it. I like the grand gesture. I think when someone's like, oh, what's your love language? I'm like, all. It's like all of the above an option. Like I like everything.
Let's just stick to romantic things also.
Yeah, everything about love, I love. I love love.
But are you a romantic at heart?
Yeah. Fully.
Yeah. Do you believe in like old world romance or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really quick.
Yeah, like I do. I'm like that full like 90s love, like not run away from home and all, but like pyar dosti hai, and one person is like your everything and all. I'm like that kind of person. Yeah.
And you've seen the love story at home, right?
Yeah.
Your parents.
Yeah. So I'm quite a hopeless romantic.
So what, according to you, are the red flags in the man? I mean, has it ever happened that you overlook the red flags because you've been so much in love?
Yeah, it happens. I think you make excuses for people, and you think that it'll change or you start changing. That's happened with me that I change myself a lot sometimes for the person that I'm with. Again, that people pleasing personality trait that I have. I start like, if they watch a kind of certain kind of movies, and I'll also do that. Or if they dress a certain way, I'll start dressing like that, which is not good. You like actually you should be yourself, and someone should accept you for who you
The way you are.
Yeah. So I think for me, the biggest red flag would be obviously that the basic ones, cheating, lying, all of that. Of course, I'm not okay with. I think someone who can't be happy for you doing well is a big red flag, you know?
It's a big one, yeah.
Especially between men and women. I feel like sometimes, like if a woman is like very successful and is like, it's sometimes, I'm not generalizing, I'm just saying kabhi kabhi hota hai.
Yeah.
Then because of, and it's, I feel bad for men also because they are also put under this pressure societally that they need to be a certain way. So it's actually not about men and women. It's like a societal construct. Because of that, everyone is kind of suffering and not being able to, you know, fully be what they want to be and who they want to be. So I think someone who can't be happy for you both ways is a red flag. You know, they should be your biggest cheerleader.
Absolutely.
And like disrespect in public, them not treating you the same way, stuff like that is quite a red flag.
How do you deal with heartbreak? Are you the kind of person that goes into a shell? Or are you like, this chapter of my life had to happen, I'm going to quickly move on and learn from it and take it along with me?
You want to be like that, but it doesn't really happen. I think it takes time for everyone, you know. You have to go through that period of like just crying and eating ice cream and watching movies and talking to your friends. You have to go through it, you know. And then you come out and then you move on only. And then when you look back after a few years, you're like, what was I breaking my head about, honestly? Yeah. Everything happens for a reason only.
Your ideal man. What are the 3 things the person you're with has to have?
I was going to say good looks, but I stopped. No, not that. I would say someone who's very funny. Like I need to be laughing. Humor for me is a big thing, you know. I like to think that I'm also very funny, even though no one has laughed today. I like to think that I'm very funny. Thank you. So I would say funny, someone who makes you laugh. Someone who can be your friend more than anything, like a companion.
That goes a long way.
Yeah, because I think pyar dosti hai, however cliche it sounds, like that's what's going to really last at the end of the day, a friend. And someone who treats everyone equally and with respect, like everyone around them. Yeah, someone who can't even do anything for you, but you still give them that respect. I think that's a good quality.
What good looks has to come in somewhere.
That can be the fourth.
The fourth one is good looks. But we need that too.
No, but I don't think I think when you love someone, everything about them becomes beautiful.
Okay, now we move to the next segment. It's called BT Reveal. And as the name suggests, the segment is supposed to reveal something more about you.
It's now kuch reveal.
Fun questions, quick questions with fun quick answers. Yeah, very easy questions, okay? If you were on a road trip with Suhana, Shania and Navya, who would take on these roles? The planner.
Navya.
The Insta queen, who gets all the pictures on point. Me. The adventurer.
Between Shania and Navya.
And the relaxer, who just shows up and says, come on, let's have a party.
Me.
That's it. Okay. If your life had a soundtrack, which song would definitely be on it?
I don't know. Like drama queen, you know, that chodi bari drama queen, maybe that. That's what's coming to my mind, yeah.
The craziest DM you've ever received?
See, like I get scared to open my DM sometimes. Open my DM. You never know what's there.
On a bad day, usually binge on?
Old episodes of Coffee with Karan.
A co-star you'd call in a crisis?
I think I'd call Adarsh Gaurav. He's very helpful. And he'll always get up to.
When is the last time you Googled yourself and what did you find?
Today.
This morning.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, before you came here, I was like, मैंने कहा है पिछले हफ्ते में कि मुझे जानना चाहिए कि मैंने ये बोला था. I just Googled myself to see कि it's all good.
Give me one line or word to describe the following. Karan Johar.
Master of all.
Your father, Chunky Pandey.
मेरा नाम Joker.
Trolls.
Beep. Yeah. That's the reply.
Ananya's current state of mind.
Current state of mind. Chill only. Serial chiller. As my Insta bio.
As your Insta bio says. If you weren't an actor, what would Ananya Pandey be doing right now?
I love children. So maybe like a preschool, something in preschool.
Oh, really?
Kids. Yeah, I love children.
Yeah, the patience.
Yeah, I just love children. I think they say the most entertaining things.
Is Ananya Pandey single?
Interesting question. You've not given me a skip option. So now I'm going to use phone a friend, skip or something. Audience poll. I'm going to go with all the options.
So I just want to ask you lastly, Ananya, how do you feel seeing these? Looking at these copies of, I would love to be cast in a woman-led film with Sarah and Janhvi.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah, would you still?
Yeah.
All-girls film.
Yeah, it'll be amazing. So I feel quite nostalgic. I want to see. And then now looking surprisingly non-controversial. So it's a good
See?
thing. Yeah.
Feel good. I feel happy. That was super fun, Ananya. And now we move on to the last segment of our show. Audience gets a chance to interact with you and ask you questions. That's something they've been waiting to hear.
Nice, guys.
So let's bring it on, guys.
Hitesh.
Hey Ananya, Hitesh here. Your favorite fitness tip for busy days?
Honestly, I'm not a really good person to ask because whenever I'm shooting, I don't end up working out, even though I make all these plans to work out. But I think you should listen to your body. Even though I have maybe booked my gym session the next day, if I wake up and I feel like doing cardio, then listen to your body because your body always knows what is right for you and what is wrong for you. And find fun ways to exercise, like, do a class with a friend, or like, I think dance is the best exercise, for me at least. It just burns calories and you're having fun at the same time.
Really de-stressing.
Yes, I think just listen to your body. I feel you can give me fitness tips. I already can't give you fitness tips.
Thank you.
Diksha,
If you were a college student today, which course would you take and why?
then when I applied to college, I was going for media and communication. That only, I think I do something like I on this side. I'd be asking questions. I think I ask a lot of questions. My dad really used to call me Paresh Rawal's character from Judai because he had like that question mark on his head. Because I used to ask so many questions growing up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Athira.
Hi, Ananya.
Hi.
Who or what is your ultimate fashion inspiration and how has your personal style evolved over the years?
I love like how Kendall and Haley and these easy fashion girls. I like that because even my style is a little more street fashion, I would like to believe. In India, I really like the way Athia dresses. I think she's very, very cool and effortless. When I started, like, I was just trying to follow trends. Like, agar someone is wearing polka dots, I would wear polka dots. If someone is wearing this, I would wear this. So I was just like a very trend. I didn't have my own opinion. Or even if I had it, I didn't voice it as much. Like, I had a team with me, and I feel, and I still do feel like they're doing their job and they know better because they've worked so many years. So I would just blindly kind of follow whatever people were saying around me. But I think over time, I've become a lot more sure about what I like and what I don't like. Like now I'm like, no, I want to wear this because at the end of the day, like when I'm uncomfortable, it's very obvious. Like I'll keep adjusting, I'll keep making some faces, so it will show anyway. So I think me being comfortable is the most important thing.
Lovely. Thank you.
Maitri.
Which is the most challenging role in your career you have done till now?
Every time I'm doing a role, I find it very challenging at that point of time. Yeah, at that point of time, everything feels. But Kesari, of course, was challenging in terms of I was playing someone from a different time and a different era. So, in terms of physicality, it was extremely challenging because, like, as you can see, I'm very expressive when I talk. I'm always using my hands. I'm making some expression.
Very animated.
Yeah, and like everything I say, like this, like I talk like how we all Gen Z. So I had to do a lot of work on my physicality. I had to make sure because at that time, because of the way the social construct was, you couldn't speak a certain way. You had to be very measured in the way you spoke. And even the character of Dilreet, she wasn't very loud and outspoken. She had a very strong resolve and she expressed more with her eyes if she was feeling anything. So I had to workshop a lot on just getting my physicality right, about how a lawyer is, how they used to stand, how they used to talk, and even getting the Punjabi dialect. Because even though at home, my nani and masis, everyone speaks in Punjabi, I didn't speak in Punjabi very much. I heard it a lot growing up. So just getting that dialect right, I think Dilreet was definitely quite challenging. Thank you.
Thank you, Ananya, for bringing your spark and your energy to our show.
Thank you.
Did you have fun?
I had so much fun. I hope you guys also had fun. I had a great time.
We did too. Keep shining and keep being you. Can you please sign them up for us as a last part of the show?